Happy Valentine's Day. But beware, for on this day of love and romance, a sinister secret lurks in the shadows. In the town of Otu, a mysterious woman named Ifeoma has a deadly habit of killing her boyfriends on Valentine's Day. Will her next victim be the one to uncover the truth behind her twisted game? Once upon a time in the town of Otu, in the heart of the bustling town of Otu, where the air was sweet with the scent of blooming flowers and the sound of Afrobeat music filled the streets, there lived a woman named Ifeoma. She was a stunning beauty, with skin as smooth as water and a smile that shone brighter than the midday sun. Her hair was a rich, dark brown, and her eyes sparkled with a mischievous glint. She had a way of making heads turn when she walked past, and men would stop and stare, their hearts skipping a beat. Ifeoma was a woman of means, with a wealthy father, Chief Otieno, who had raised her in luxury. She had the best education, the finest clothes, and the most extravagant lifestyle. But despite all her privileges, Ifeoma was a woman with a secret. Every Valentine's Day, she would bring a new boyfriend home to meet her father, and by the next morning, that boyfriend would be dead. The townspeople whispered about Ifeoma's strange habit, but no one dared to confront her. She was too beautiful, too charming, and too well connected. Her father, Chief Otieno, was a powerful man in the community, and no one wanted to cross him. But Ifeoma's life was about to take a dramatic turn. This Valentine's Day, she had brought home a new boyfriend, Ejiro. He was different from the others, with a quiet strength and a sense of purpose that drew Ifeoma to him. As they sat down to dinner, Ifeoma's father, Chief Otieno, smiled warmly at Ejiro. "Welcome, my son," he said, his voice dripping with sincerity. "I'm glad you're here." Ejiro smiled back, feeling a sense of unease. There was something about Chief Otieno that didn't quite add up. As the night wore on, Ifeoma and Ejiro grew closer, their conversation flowing easily. But just as things were starting to heat up, Ifeoma reached into her purse and pulled out a small, neatly wrapped package. "I got you something," she said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Ejiro unwrapped the package, his heart sinking as he saw the condom inside. Something didn't feel right. "Ifeoma, why did you get me this?" he asked, trying to keep his tone light. Ifeoma smiled, her eyes glinting with amusement. "Just in case," she said. Ejiro felt a shiver run down his spine. Something was off. Just then, Ejiro's phone rang. It was his mother. "Ejiro, where are you?" she asked, her voice tight with worry. Ejiro hesitated, feeling a sense of unease. "I'm with Ifeoma, Mama." There was a pause on the other end of the line. "Ejiro, you need to get out of there. Now." Ejiro felt a surge of fear. What did his mother know that he didn't? "Ifeoma, I need to go," he said, trying to sound calm. Ifeoma's face fell, her eyes narrowing. "What's wrong?" she asked. Ejiro hesitated, unsure of what to say. But before he could respond, Ifeoma's father, Chief Otieno, appeared at the door. "Oh, Ejiro, I see you're getting ready to leave," he said, his voice dripping with malice. Ejiro felt a chill run down his spine. Something was very wrong. As he turned to leave, Ifeoma reached out and grabbed his arm. "Ejiro, wait," she said, her eyes pleading. But Ejiro shook her off, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew he had to get out of there, fast. As he ran out of the hotel, he could feel Ifeoma's eyes on him, boring into his skin. He knew he had narrowly escaped something terrible. But what he didn't know was that Ifeoma's secret was only just beginning to unravel. The next morning, the police arrived at the hotel, responding to a report of a dead body. As they entered the room, they were met with a sight that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. Ifeoma lay on the floor, her body convulsing, her eyes wide with terror. The condom lay next to her, its wrapper torn open. The police knew that they had stumbled into something sinister, something that went far beyond a simple murder. As they began to investigate, they uncovered a dark web of secrets and lies that went all the way to the top of the town's hierarchy. Ifeoma's father, Chief Otieno, was at the center of it all, his wealth and power built on a foundation of blood and sacrifice. The police knew that they had to act fast, to bring. As the police dug deeper, they discovered that Chief Otieno's wealth was built on a dark secret. Every year, on Valentine's Day, he would sacrifice a young man to the spirits, using his daughter Ifeoma as bait. The condom was the key, laced with a poison that would kill the victim slowly, making it look like a natural death. But this year, something had gone wrong. Ejiro, the young man Ifeoma had brought home, had survived. And now, Ifeoma was dying, her body convulsing on the floor. The police rushed Ifeoma to the hospital, but it was too late. She died on the way, her last words a whispered apology to Ejiro. Ejiro was devastated. He had fallen in love with Ifeoma, despite the danger that surrounded her. And now, she was gone. As the police investigated further, they discovered that Chief Otieno's secret was not just about sacrifice, but also about power. He had used his wealth and influence to cover up the deaths, making it look like accidents or natural causes. But there was one person who had always suspected the truth. Ejiro's mother, Ifeoma, had always known that something was off about Chief Otieno. She had warned Ejiro to stay away from Ifeoma, but he had not listened. Now, Ifeoma was determined to bring Chief Otieno to justice. She worked with the police to gather evidence, using her knowledge of the town's history and secrets to uncover the truth. As the trial approached, the town was abuzz with excitement. Everyone wanted to see Chief Otieno brought down. But there was one person who was not so sure. Ejiro's best friend, Uche, had always been skeptical of the accusations. Uche was a non-binary artist, with a quick wit and a sharp tongue. They had always seen Chief Otieno as a benevolent figure, a patron of the arts. Now, Uche was torn. They wanted to believe in Chief Otieno's innocence, but the evidence was mounting. As the trial began, Uche took their seat in the courtroom, their eyes fixed on Chief Otieno. They were determined to see justice served, no matter what the outcome. But just as the trial was about to start, a surprise witness appeared. It was Ifeoma's ghost, her spirit risen from the dead to reveal the truth. "I was not a willing participant," Ifeoma's ghost said, her voice echoing through the courtroom. "My father used me, manipulated me. I did not know what I was doing." The courtroom erupted into chaos, with people screaming and shouting. Chief Otieno's face turned white, his eyes wide with fear. Uche's eyes met Ejiro's, and they nodded in agreement. Justice would be served. But as the trial continued, it became clear that nothing was as simple as it seemed. Chief Otieno's secrets went far deeper than anyone had imagined, and the truth was more complex than anyone had suspected. As the trial continued, more witnesses came forward, revealing a web of secrets and lies that went far beyond Chief Otieno's sacrifice of young men. It turned out that Chief Otieno was part of a larger cult, one that had been operating in the town for generations. The cult was led by a mysterious figure known only as the Oracle. Little was known about the Oracle, except that they were said to possess great power and wisdom. As the prosecution dug deeper, they discovered that Chief Otieno had been using his wealth and influence to recruit young men for the cult. Ifeoma had been his unwitting accomplice, luring men into the cult with her charm and beauty. But there was more. The prosecution revealed that the cult was not just about sacrifice, but also about power. They had been using dark magic to manipulate the town, controlling the minds of the townspeople and bending them to their will. Ejiro's mother, Ifeoma, was called to the stand to testify about the cult activities. She revealed that she had been investigating the cult for years, but had been unable to gather enough evidence to bring them to justice. Uche, who had been watching the trial with growing unease, suddenly stood up. "I have something to say," they said, their voice shaking. The judge looked at them in surprise. "What is it, young man?" he asked. Uche took a deep breath. "I've been having these visions," they said. "Dreams, really. And in them, I see the Oracle. I see them standing in front of me, laughing." The courtroom erupted into chaos, with people shouting and screaming. Chief Otieno's face turned white, his eyes wide with fear. The judge banged his gavel, calling for order. "What does this have to do with anything?" he asked Uche. Uche hesitated. I think the Oracle is trying to communicate with me. I think they want me to join them." The courtroom fell silent, with all eyes on Uche. Ejiro's eyes met Uche's, and he saw the fear and uncertainty there. Suddenly, the lights in the courtroom began to flicker. The air grew cold, and a presence seemed to fill the room. The oracle had arrived. As the lights flickered, a figure materialized in the center of the courtroom. It was the oracle, tall and imposing, with eyes that seemed to see right through everyone. The oracle's gaze swept the room, lingering on Uche before moving on to Ejiro. Ejiro felt a shiver run down his spine as their eyes met. "Uche, my child," the oracle said, their voice low and hypnotic. "I have been waiting for you." Uche stood frozen, their eyes fixed on the oracle. Ejiro could see the fear and uncertainty written all over their face. Suddenly, a figure burst into the courtroom. It was Zainab, Uche's girlfriend, a beautiful and fierce young woman with a shaved head and a bold smile. "Uche, don't listen to them," Zainab shouted, rushing to Uche's side. "They are trying to manipulate you." The oracle's gaze turned to Zainab, and Ejiro could see a flicker of interest in their eyes. "Oh, Zainab," the oracle said, their voice dripping with sarcasm. "Always so quick to defend your lover. But do you really know what's going on here?" Zainab stood tall, her eyes flashing with defiance. "I know that you're trying to hurt Uche," she said. "And I won't let that happen." The oracle laughed, a low, menacing sound. "We'll see about that," they said, and with that, the courtroom erupted into chaos. The oracle began to chant, their voice rising and falling in a hypnotic rhythm. Uche and Zainab were caught up in the spell, their eyes glazing over as they began to sway to the music. Ejiro knew he had to act fast. He grabbed hold of Uche and Zainab, trying to snap them out of the trance. But it was too late. The oracle's spell had already taken hold. As the courtroom descended into chaos, Ejiro found himself face to face with the oracle. He could feel their power coursing through him, tempting him to give in to the darkness. But Ejiro refused to give up. He knew that he had to save Uche and Zainab, no matter what it took. With a surge of adrenaline, Ejiro launched himself at the oracle, determined to stop them once and for all. But as he looked into the oracle's eyes, he saw something that made his blood run cold. A spark of recognition, a glimmer of shared knowledge. The oracle knew a secret about Ejiro, a secret that could change everything. As they made their way out of the courtroom, Ejiro couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The oracle's words kept echoing in his mind, making him question everything he thought he knew about himself. Kofi seemed to sense his unease, and he placed a reassuring hand on Ejiro's shoulder. "Hey, we'll figure this out together, okay?" he said. Ejiro nodded, feeling a surge of gratitude towards Kofi. He had never felt this way about anyone before, and he wasn't sure what to do with these new emotions. As they emerged from the courthouse, they were greeted by a sea of familiar faces. Uche and Zainab were there, looking relieved to see Ejiro and Kofi safe and sound. But there was someone else there, too. Someone Ejiro hadn't expected to see. It was Ephra's ghost, standing off to the side with a mournful expression on her face. Ejiro felt a shiver run down his spine as Ephra's ghost began to speak. "Ejiro, I'm sorry," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was wrong to use you, to manipulate you. But I was desperate, and I didn't know what else to do." Ejiro felt a pang of sadness as he looked at Ephra's ghost. He had cared for her, despite everything she had done. And now, she was gone. But as he turned to leave, Ephra's ghost spoke up again. "Ejiro, wait," she said. "There's something I need to tell you. Something important." Ejiro turned back, his curiosity piqued. "What is it?" he asked. Ephra's ghost hesitated, as if unsure of how to begin. "It's about your past," she said finally. "About who you really are." Ejiro's heart skipped a beat. What did Ephra's ghost mean? What secrets was she hiding? And then, just as Ejiro was about to ask another question, everything went black. When Ejiro came to, he was lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by the people he cared about. Uche and Zainab were there, holding hands and looking worried. Kofi was there, too, his eyes fixed on Ejiro's face with a look of deep concern. But there was someone else there, too. Someone Ejiro didn't recognize. A woman with long, curly hair and a warm smile. She was holding Ejiro's hand, and her eyes were filled with tears. "Who are you?" Ejiro asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The woman smiled. "I'm your mother," she said. "And I've been searching for you for a very long time." Ejiro's mind was reeling. His mother. But he thought she was dead. And then, just as he was about to ask another question, the woman dropped a bombshell. "Ejiro, you're not who you think you are," she said. "You're not even from this town." Ejiro's eyes widened in shock. What did she mean? Who was he, really? And then, just as he was about to demand answers, the woman leaned in close and whispered a single word in his ear. "Run." To be continued. Want to know what happens next? Stay tuned for the next installment of more thrilling story. Thanks so much for staying tuned. Kindly like, share and comment on what you liked about the story. For all my returning subscribers, I love you, and to all my new subscribers, you're the best, and until next time, bye.